Welcome to Dynamite After Dark. Let's go. I want to know.
I want to know as well. But here's what I do know. This is October 4th, 2023, and this is your evening's edition of Dynamite After Dark. I am the effing expert, Mr. Isaacs.
And I'm, of course, the patron saint of professional wrestling. I'm that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada Dry, damn it.
And as always, we've got the frickin' Iron Man. Go ahead and introduce yourself, good sir.
GM Joe.
Tonight I'm GM Joe, but you all know me as the effing Golden Graham. You know, I wear a couple
many names.
A couple different hats that I wear associated with this effing wrestling brand. So I just forgot
to everything, man. He's the chef. He cooks all the sushi for the office.
The sushi.
And, yeah, he cooks all the sushi for the office, and he takes out the garbage once a week.
Technically, you cook sushi.
Yes,
some sushi is cooked. Yes,
yes. Sashimi is not cooked.
Correct.
And we may have Lord Rich Southwood on. He was having a little bit of technical issues, but if he comes back in, we'll pipe him in here and get to going. But
we're like, hey, what's going on? You're piped in, all right? You're piped in.
Let's go ahead and start recapping the show, shall we, fellas? We've got the opening segment here. We had Renee backstage with Jericho and Moxley discussing their upcoming match. Adam Copeland shows up and shakes Chris's hand. So this kind of just sets the tone for some things that are going on later in the program. Nothing really major here, but do either of you have any thoughts on this opening segment before we move forward?
Wasn't this the very Canadian segment?
I was like, Canadians everywhere.
Canadians everywhere, my friend.
Maple syrup, Molson Canadian. Yes.
Now, I will say, and this is jumping ahead a little bit, but in one match, I saw a guy holding up a sign that said "Fire Canada." And
now, is it like, on me? Because that's
I'm like, is he wanting to fire Canada dry from Dynamite After Dark, or the entire country of Canada that they shut down maple syrup production or something? Like, why do you want to fire an entire country? That just didn't make any sense to me.
He's been drinking that Don Callis Kool-Aid for way too long.
I figured you guys would find that a bit interesting. Yeah, to fire an entire country. But let's go ahead and skip on to match number one. We had Nick Jackson versus Ray Fenix. Fenix was selling a back injury here. He was either selling it or he was actually really hurt, one or the other. Not entirely sure about that. I have in my notes here that I think the Bucks, and I'll see if you guys agree with me on this, the Bucks wrestle really well as singles wrestlers.
Yes.
Like when they're not doing all their little usual shtick and usual double team spots, like they actually have to kind of like improvise a little more and actually use more wrestling skill. I'm always pretty impressed when I see them wrestle singles matches. But this was a fun, fast, hard-hitting match. Of course, Fenix ends up getting the victory. I'll start with GM Joe here. What do you think of this match?
I mean, I enjoyed this match. It lived up to being the sequel to their match a couple years ago. Like you said, like especially Nick, he is really good as a singles wrestler.
Yeah.
And Fenix is just absolutely ridiculous. But going back to that injured back, I think it might be a little bit of both playing it up and a legit injury, because he's even gone on record and said, like, the match that he won the international title, he was injured. So I think that's part of the reason why they sort of walked him out of the match at Wrestle Dream, I think, to protect him a little bit. So
Gran Torino says they didn't team up until a little before PWG. Okay. Yeah, I am not familiar with anything the Bucks did prior to the start of PWG. So
the best thing in PWG was Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. Those early PWGs were pretty wild. Yeah, I like some of those. Canada Dry, what'd you think of the opening match?
I agree. Like, when you have the Bucks separately, they're a whole different can of worms.
Yeah,
because you don't have those sort of cheap pops that they do. But yeah, it was a good match. But what I'm wondering is, like, wouldn't a Brian Cage versus Ray Fenix been a better match?
Possibly.
Like, I think I would rather have seen Brian Cage getting this opportunity rather than.
The only reason why he got the opportunity was because it's the 4-year anniversary of AEW.
Yeah, which doesn't mean much. It's like, yeah, so let's celebrate by letting someone else get an opportunity.
It's like, well, the EVPs, we got to give them their time to shine on the 4th anniversary of Dynamite.
Yeah, let's see if Lord Ryan Rich
is he back, Mr. Southwood.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you hear us? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, brother, I can hear you.
All right.
I knew when he started.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
Lord Rich, you were right on time, my man, for us to cut to you to find out your thoughts on the opening match, Nick Jackson versus Ray Fenix. What are your thoughts, sir?
Before I get started, I would just like to say that one of our all effing family, someone who watches the show all the time in Nako, she was actually involved in an accident and has a broken ankle. So I just wanted to shout her out and say, I hope you get to feeling better soon, and we're all behind you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
sorry to hear that.
Definitely.
Yeah, as for the match, it was a lot better than I expected. Nick Jackson versus Ray Fenix is always fun because of what they can do together in terms of style in the ring. But I thought with Phoenix's injury that maybe it would limit them a little bit, but I think it played out wonderfully. I think that and Phoenix really sold the back very well. I thought it was a great match.
All right. One of the things that we talked about before you got on here, I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on this too, because we all kind of had the same thought. The Bucks wrestle so different and so good when they wrestle singles. Have you ever noticed that? Do you have any thoughts on that?
It's kind of like watching Dax wrestle solo. It's like a unicorn.
That's what it reminded me of, kind of. Yeah.
It's really fun to do because they do have different styles. Matt is the more grounded guy, and Nick's more of your high flyer risk taker. And it's interesting to see them work solo and not have to bounce off each other and see how they flow with that. It's always fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, moving on here, we had the very first attempt at the Adam Cole visiting Roddy Strong promo. I thought that my sound system was screwing up, and I was furiously trying to adjust the volume, like what the hell's going on here, and I just couldn't hear a damn thing, which they ended up announcing afterwards that TBS had a sound glitch. So we will come back to this when we circle back to the promo. But we'll move on to match number 2 here. Griff Garrison returns.
Yes.
And gets squished by Wardlow. Kind of surprised to see Wardlow here, but it was nice to see him back after a long layoff. Squish match with 5 power bombs, TKO victory. I thought it was interesting the fans were doing the cadence of the old Goldberg chant, but just replacing the word with Wardlow.
I mean, but in fairness, they've been doing that for a year.
Yeah. So, yeah, Wardlow, Wardberg, whatever. Jadeberg's gone, so Wardberg's gone. I will start with Mr. Canada Dry. What did you think of the squish match here?
I was surprised to see Griff Garrison in the ring.
Yeah.
Okay, this is interesting. Who's he going to be going against? And all of a sudden it's Wardlow. And I didn't think it would be a squish match. I was really surprised at how and they want to assert his dominance because he's been gone for a while. And they didn't even do a pin. They just did
it was like a TKO
no, there's no
finish.
more. You don't hurt him anymore.
Instead of a 5 count, it was 5 powerbomb TKO.
Yeah.
Right. GM Joe, what'd you think of the squish match?
I hated it. He's been gone for 6 months, and this is the best you could come up
He
with
was not gone for 6
for
months.
Wardlow to return. Was
He
5
not
power
gone for
bombs.
6 months.
However long he was gone for. This is the best you could come up with for him. We've already had this. We've lived this already with Wardlow. I don't need this anymore. I actually want to see some character development, something from him. So hopefully this doesn't last.
You need it.
No. I just hope. I told y'all before the show I didn't like this. I told you I was going to be negative about it.
I'm teasing. You know I love you.
Yeah. So I'm just hoping that this isn't more than a week or two. Give him a couple. Give him his 1 or 2 dominant wins and actually have him wrestle a match. Is what I want to see.
I think GM Joe is having a little shaving remorse. He got rid of the beard, and now he's just like, damn it, Dynamite sucked.
No, Dynamite didn't suck. It's just my expectations were a lot higher than what they were meant tonight.
I can appreciate any panelist that has high standards because I'd like to think that myself I have pretty high standards. Mr. Southwood, what did you think of the squishiest of squish matches?
Well, I was very surprised to see Wardlow back. First of all, my son popped real hard.
It's just hot.
Ow! 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 I was very surprised. It made my son pop real hard, which was fun. And I told him, I was like, he's going to have a new finisher. And then sure enough, we get the Powerbomb Symphony. So I'm glad to see Wardlow back. Are they going to turn him heel?
I'm surprised that noob doesn't
real
know
quick out of there and didn't say hi to nobody. So I don't know if he's going to be going back to bad guyville.
It's pretty coincidental that he returns right after the week when the MJF's devil mask goes missing and someone gets attacked backstage.
Ooh,
just throwing that out there.
That's very interesting.
Although you know who said that? Alex Haney said that.
Yeah, well, last week it didn't make no sense because Wardlow was nowhere around. But now he's here. Now he's back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got
now Haney may have.
You got it from Alex Haney.
Maybe Haney has more booking power than we even know.
Oh,
about.
booking. Maybe he's booking shit.
Haney is he's got an inside track here. Like he knows what's going on. He's got it all figured out.
My question is, why does Noob not know who Griff Garrison is?
Okay, first off, Griff was with Brian Pillman Jr. in a tag team.
Varsity Blondes.
Yeah, the Varsity
Blondes.
Blondes.
I guess maybe they were not on Dynamite. They're more of a dark team, right?
I don't even remember the last time I saw Griff Garrison on TV.
He's been on ROH TV.
Yeah, they know they made sure to say that as to count to what his absence has been on TV.
Okay. So he's been in Ring of Honor. Okay, yep. So basically 17 people saw him.
Which is weird because he's been who's he been being recruited by? I'm forgetting.
Gran Torino, what's the BTE joke?
That Griff Garrison is Jungle Boy. They did that joke on BTE.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
What if they just like all of a sudden turned him into Jungle Boy? Like they switched the doinks back in the 90s, which is
yeah, you just
even make mention of it.
Oh my goodness!
He just starts coming out to the old music and coming out to Jungle Boy.
That would be
and then
great.
what? I don't even remember. Jack Perry's coming. No. You will not use my theme.
Well, it's funny because the whole joke that Griff Garrison is Jungle Boy started when Silver and Reynolds were trying to recruit Jungle Boy into Dark Order. That was the whole joke. And they're like, yeah, we got him. And it's Griff Garrison. And then, rest in peace, Mr. Brody Lee would start smacking him over the head with papers.
Yep. Idiot!
Yes, he was.
All right. Moving on to the next segment here.
Some people are not happy with Edge joining AEW.
Ooh.
Well, apparently, I guess in Japan, everything ended early. So maybe they didn't get to see Edge's promo at the end of the show.
They didn't, because Ayaka was, we were communicating through X, and she was like, you guys forget there was a show? And I was like, no, it's still on. She goes, not here in Japan. I was like, well, it is here in the United States.
And apparently you're really hot.
Hey,
don't tell your wife, she's going to get jealous.
He's got the Colts gear on. He's got the chain around his neck. Like, he's got it going on, man. I see Superman in the background. Like,
I have that Superman comic, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got Don Callis with Takeshita backstage with Renee. Great heel promo here from Don Callis. I love anytime he's on the microphone. He's just fantastic. Announces that Kyle Fletcher is going to be teaming with Takeshita. I guess the other guy from Aussie Open is apparently injured.
Yeah, he got his arm broke.
Yeah. So I guess they're hyping up that Kyle Fletcher is going to be a young up and coming rising star in the Don Callis family.
And I like this. I like this rather than just going with Sammy Guevara and doing the replay of the Wrestle Dream.
Yeah, but this was better.
Is he? Because when he took the pin, and it seems maybe he won't be part of Callis family. Maybe
Guevara.
No,
Fletcher.
Kyle Fletcher.
I think
since Kyle took the pin, he was like, he screwed the family.
Alone, like Osprey is. Like, United Empire has a good working relationship with Don Callis family. I don't know if they're necessarily like full-fledged members.
Yeah. It's kind of like when NWO Japan would come over to WCW and work like 2 Nitros a year. Yeah. That's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah, so I think maybe this was just a way to have someone else fill in and then have the surprise that came later on.
Mm-hmm.
I guess restore the order here, Mr. Expert. Get someone to go first.
Okay. About this promo here, GM Joe, what did you think about the Don Callis promo?
It was a great. It's Don Callis. He really does no wrong on the mic. I mean, so I'm curious as to what is wrong with Guevara. Was it maybe he's just sick, or is it going to be playing to a storyline? I'm kind of curious.
Yeah.
So,
Lord Ryan Rich.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Has anyone thought possibly maybe something happened with Tay and the baby and the pregnancy, or there was something that he had to be? I don't. I hope not either. Or he wanted to. There was like a special appointment he wanted to be at. Like, I don't know. Maybe something like that. Tony's good with giving his talent time off. They need it. So I'm hoping that nothing's wrong with him. He's okay. Everything's okay with Tay and the whole family. So I'll just throw that energy out there first of all. As far as Don Callis doesn't miss. So I think it's great. Takeshita, I think Takeshita looks so good before he got with Don Callis, but since he's been with him, he looks like a number one guy to me. Like in these last matches with Omega and everything on the last 2 or 3 pay-per-views, Takeshita looks like the man.
Yeah. Takeshita looks like an absolute star. Like 100%. Canada, what do you think of the segment?
Yeah, it's just a promo. It needed to do what it needed to do. I think we said enough. Let's move on.
All right, guys. Now we've got the true airing of the Cole visiting Strong segment here. This was a weird segment, but it was oddly intriguing. I don't know. It's weird. It's funny. It kind of intrigues you to see what happens next. Lord Rich, do you have any thoughts on this?
If you notice, it's very reminiscent of the videos that Adam Cole was doing with MJF in the terms of having the fun, the slow-mo, the big smiles, and everything else.
Yeah.
So I think this video is just going to show that it's going to eventually become between Roddy and MJF, and he's going to have to choose because they're showing the parallels in both the friendships. That's what I took out of it.
Good point. GM Joe, what'd you think?
I don't know what to think. I thought I knew where this was going, and I never would have guessed this. You could have given me 50 guesses, and I would never guess this.
All right.
So I'm interested. I mean,
but then that brought you in, right?
I mean, yeah, I'm still very interested. It's just, I guess I'm perplexed at the whole situation. Like, I don't understand what they're trying to have us get from this, I guess is my thing.
Well, do you want to know my thought?
Of course.
I think that Adam Cole turns on MJF, and I think Adam Cole and the Kingdom were the ones in the devil mask that attacked Jay White.
It's a possibility. Can't F and dry. What say you, pal?
Yes, I've turned it up the first time because I was like, I want to hear this. And then it was like a shorter version because they realized how it wasn't working, so they just kind of cut it off. So yeah, the riding around in the scooters with pure jubilation. While one of the other guys, Matt Taven, patting the giraffe, just like with a straight look on his face. It was odd. Then the demand that he move the furniture. What? That was just like, your feng shui is better than ours. So it's like, the funny thing is that he's getting ready to leave, and there's a super annoyed look on his face, like, I almost escaped. Like, he doesn't want to be there, but it's like, like the guilt. We've all kind of went through that before. Doing something out of guilt.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think everybody
does
that. Yeah.
I need to get the hell out of here. Just like, as soon as I get out of here, I will. But it's not always easy.
No.
It's like the annoying friend that, I mean, quite literally has some kind of horrific injury, and then it's like you can't distance yourself from them because you look kind of like a jerk if you do it. So,
he's like, Jeremy!
All right, match number 3. We had a reappearance out of nowhere of Butcher, Blade, and Kip Sabian versus the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass.
Thank you very much.
Championship. And thank you, Ayaka, for that.
Ayaka is actually Minako, if you didn't know, too. That's her real name.
Oh. Okay.
Ayaka Sasaki.
Don't be revealing kayfabe.
It's okay. I was given permission earlier on the show, otherwise I would not have done it.
Well, thank you for your kind compliment. That's very kind of you.
Yes. Thank you.
So this was for the Trios Championship. Here's what I thought was funny from the get-go. The match started super hot, and good old Schiavone decides he wants to go back and talk about Roddy Strong being a phony. Like, Tony, I get that you forgot your spot, pal, but like the match is already going and it's hot and nobody cares about that previous segment now. This was a fast-paced, hard-hitting, fun match. Obviously the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass win. I will just end my little statement here on the observation that I just noticed. You all probably have already noticed this because you're a little more observant to these things than I am. Their custom-made Trios Championships have scissor cut indents in the edge of the belt. I did not notice that until tonight. That is,
you must have missed the revelation when they showed these because
I probably like half saw it and was like half distracted doing something else. But Canada F and Dry, what did you think of the Trios Championship match?
It needed to just go. Be honest, it needed to go. I don't remember anything about it. I'll be honest.
Fair enough. GM Joe, what'd you think?
2 things. 1, why was this a championship match? Like, what did Butcher, Blade, and Kip Sabian do to earn a title match? And 2, and this is just like a trend for the night, it feels like there was a lot more picture-in-picture in matches tonight than there has been in past weeks, and that just kills my investment in a match.
And let me just say this, GM Joe, that for a trios match, it was really quick.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was Well, I think part of that goes, well, you don't have it, but here in the States, like, it was a commercial in the middle of the match.
Mhm.
No, I have them too. I saw picture.
Oh, I didn't know if you had picture. I didn't know if you had commercials or not. It feels like commercials, and especially when the match is already short as it is, just kills any momentum that they have.
We're gonna go to a
God bless Richard Hart for being a good friend of my friend. 5 stars for your kind heart. I just make up random accents.
Really playing up my heel of the year.
Maybe you need to be a face.
You never know.
Maybe you be
the kind-hearted
face
one
of the year, Lord Ryan Rich.
That would be quite the turnaround, wouldn't it?
He can be like Bret Hart in Canada. On the podcast, he's the good guy, but everywhere else.
Or maybe since Maddie Hawkins isn't doing it anymore, you could be the lovable Ryan Rich.
Ooh.
I love you.
I think Ryan Rich is pretty lovable. I do.
The lovable Ryan Rich.
He's a lovable
see
gentleman.
some rosy red cheeks next week.
All right, we've got a Tony
Tony
Storm
is like
promo.
putting the blush on.
I look like Tony Storm. I'm like,
with Rich's descent into madness.
Well, that's a good little transition there. You helped me out to the Tony Storm promo with RJ City again. Debuting her apparent new name, Timeless Tony Storm. They got a little grayscale image of her and her Marilyn Monroe shtick with the graphic Timeless Tony Storm is coming tonight. So we get a recap video of some Wrestle Dream matches. Nothing really to see here, just kind of a recap. But they did announce that Swerve is going to face Bryan Danielson next week for the #1 contender spot for the TNT Championship. Now, I just kind of want to get a quick little thought of what you guys think about that match. Jim Joe, what do you think?
It's going to be amazing. Don't know who's going to win because they don't really like to do heel versus heel matches, but I feel like Swerve really needs this win right now. I think they got to capitalize on what happened.
Danielson is the face.
What?
Bryan Danielson is the face.
I know. I'm talking about if Swerve wins, then he's facing a heel Christian is what I'm getting at.
Oh, okay.
True.
I got to point out this. Show the last comment from Ayaka here. Rich is cuter than my boyfriend.
I think we're going to have Rich not be on the show. He's going to be breaking up.
This is a t-shirt.
Rich is cuter than
my boyfriend.
All right, Haney, you heard it.
Especially if you could get that and then below the font, get it written in Japanese.
Yes. Only if we can do the gimmick change of lovable Ryan Rich.
Or maybe you should just be the boyfriend, Lord Ryan Rich, or something like that.
Okay, boyfriend Ryan Rich. What do you think of a potential Swerve Danielson match next week?
It tickled me in my nether regions, if you want to be completely honest.
This is After Dark. Hi-oh.
Hey-oh. Hey. This is a dream match. Like, and I don't want to predict next week because of this match. Because like both of them are red hot, dude. Like you just had Danielson in a classic against Zack Sabre Jr. and you just had Swerve defeat Hangman. Man, I don't know how this one works out, but I'm excited to watch it.
All right. Canada F and Dry, what do you think?
What are we talking about? I was just changing his name to Lovable Ryan Rich.
He is Lovable Ryan Rich now. Nice.
Well, that's just lovable.
An executive decision.
You need an A in there, my guy.
Well, you can do it.
The question of the moment, good sir, is what do you think of the Swerve Danielson matchup next week?
Yes. I'm worried about this for Swerve.
Yeah, because Danielson's probably going over here. I mean, that would be my assumption.
Danielson doesn't need it, though.
No.
So I hope that they find a way to give it to Swerve.
But even on top of that, I don't know why they're doing this because I really don't want to see Christian lose the title yet either.
Yeah,
they're setting themselves up to where they're going to book people where no one should be losing, and it's not a good thing.
Yeah, we don't want Christian against.
Well, methinks that after what happens at the end of the show, that there's going to be tomfoolery no matter who it is.
Yeah.
Could Edge cost?
No.
Adam Copeland.
Adam Copeland, sir.
Yes. Could the rated R superstar? We can say that.
Keep you on the edge of your seat.
Rated R era, baby.
I did love that little line from Kenny at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I wasn't here for you guys to talk about that. So just real quick, I want to say, to me, that felt the most like Tony Khan has a new toy, and I want to play with it so bad. I can't wait to get home. he just had to butt him in there just at the very beginning, just cause. And I
get all our Canadians out there ready to go.
It did kind of seem a little pointless, but it was kind of like hey, we promise he's here, guys. We promise he's here.
Look how shiny he is.
He's got this new dope-looking leather jacket, which does look cool.
That's awesome.
I think this is, you know what it's time for?
What's that?
I think it's time for one of our advertisements.
Let's do it.
So I'm going to do the Kill City Cup because they were just nominated with honorable mention at a film festival.
Ooh.
They also made the cover of a magazine.
Yes, and they made the cover of a magazine. They're rolling it, and every time they're like, "Effing wrestling, we did it!" Like we're like we were part of it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, like we had any bearing in their success at all.
Well, he's very thankful that we were like the first.
Listen, when Better Than Your Boyfriend, Ryan Rich wins a T-shirt from your movie, it's going up.
Yeah. But yeah, they were very thankful that we jumped on the train first and promoted them, and they, they're loyal like that. And Luke Robert's a good guy. But anyways, let's play the promo.
Welcome to the Kill City Cup.
Badass, dude.
Got the world by the balls.
Around here
That is the
somewhere.
quote of the night. All right, moving on here. We got Bullet Club Gold. All right, let's laugh at Bullet Club Gold. Bullet Club Gold is out to the ring. Cuts a promo on Cole and MJF. Blames MJF, of course, for the attack on Jay White because they're stupid. Juice calls out MJF, who does indeed come out. They banter back and forth. This is after dark, so MJF starts calling them ass boys and taintless taint and gets the crowd to sing back and forth. Now, gentlemen,
talentless taint.
Yeah.
does everybody know what a taint is?
It's a gooch.
Good. I'm glad everybody here knows what a taint is. For all you After Dark listeners, if you don't, I'll let you Google that on your own.
Yes,
if you listen to Johnny Knoxville, it's known as a gooch.
So get out your Google machine.
You may want to turn on Safe Search first. To
little incognito mode, something like that. Yeah. And don't do it on any work computers or school computers or anything of that nature. So they lured MJF to the ring. Jay White shows up out of nowhere and attacks him. White steals the AEW championship belt and cuts a scathing promo at the top of the ramp. I am so glad they're letting this guy have microphone time because he's killing it. I love that. Ayaka's got the I guess she spelled out Rich's name in Japanese there, that little statement that we had earlier. So thank you for that. We need to get a shirt on that. We need to get Alex Haney on that. But Jay White cuts a good promo, And he ends up taking the title belt and walking away with it, guys. Interested to see where this is going. Better than your boyfriend, Mr. Rich. What do you think, sir?
I'm very intrigued, and as we're sitting here talking about it, this is going to be a Full Gear, right? So this is going to be either the last pay-per-view, unless the December event gets turned into a pay-per-view. This is going to be the last pay-per-view of when MJF is still under contract with AEW up to the 2024 run. So I'm wondering where the storyline is going to progress from there. I think most of us thought that we would get up to around this point, and then around December, he might drop the title to someone. So I'm real interested to see how the story plays out, just knowing about the storylines that could be coming ahead. And also, Jay White is a freaking star. He deserves to be on TV every week. I think that he should have the international title, to be honest with you. But we need to get gold in that man's hand somehow.
Wholeheartedly agree. GM Joe, what do you think?
I think the guns should just be silent heavies because they're awful on the mic. Like it was.
Whoa, GM Joe has blast about the guns? No.
But yeah, I love Jay White's promo. It's as usual, top notch. I'm really digging like this complete 180 of MJF right now. Like it's so refreshing, like because we had like 3.5 years of him just being the most despicable, despisable human being, and now he is basically doing everything we want to see in our hero. So I love it.
Did any of you guys watch the media scrum after Wrestle Dream?
Watch most of it, yes.
I watched most of it.
Well, for tonight, Butcher and Blade got on there. They were shouted out by Kenny Omega, and when he was with Jericho, as people who come to work every day and do their job. So maybe that's why they got a shot. But then they also, I lost my train of thought. Shit. Never mind. Go on.
True.
The train went off the tracks, my friends. That's what happens when it's almost 11 o'clock at night on a Wednesday. Canada F and Dry, what'd you think of this?
Yeah, without Jay White, they're just like this clown show.
Yeah.
Like blah, 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 blah. It's just like
Juice Robinson is so awkward on the mic.
Yes, you need like really they are the seasoning on the tofu. But they all need each other.
Yeah, I agree.
No, they all need Jay White.
Well, no, Jay White does need like I get MJF's point. Like he does need that entourage to give that flavor to him because he's I don't like him as a singles wrestler.
You don't like Jay White as a singles wrestler?
Well, no, he needs a faction.
With a faction, right? With some cronies is what you mean.
Well,
right?
yeah, I agree. No. But like I said this before, like AEW is the land of factions. You're not going to get very far without a faction.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, the MJF promo, the MJF trap by Bullet Club, brilliant. And I had a thought. What if it was Bullet Club Gold who did it to themselves to lay this out?
I suppose it's a possibility.
It's always possible.
Because you're like, oh, Switchblade's not here. He's injured.
It is kind of weird.
Wasn't really selling an injury tonight either.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird to me that they closed this with such a hot segment last week with the screen distorting and everything. Like this was going to be some major thing that was either revealed at Wrestle Dream or what have you. And it's kind of become like a middle of the show mention a week later.
Yes, because like we don't know where this is going yet.
It's kind of strange. Yeah, I thought this was going to be a bigger deal.
I think it was a big miss that they didn't at least have a video or something to further this story. Like, I don't think they can wait until a pay-per-view or go weeks without addressing this because this is it.
I think either next week or maybe Collision, they're gonna reveal who it was.
See, I think they should have did it tonight. It's the 4-year anniversary. You're touting this new era, this would have been perfect to really kick into overdrive. Who done it? Give us another good story to kick off your
unless
your
they have like some long-term plan for it.
maybe.
I expected it to be a Wrestle Dream, considering it was the closing promo on the Go Home show. It was just kind of weird. I don't know, but
You guys remember we got to watch Collision an hour earlier to do the show
Yes.
on Saturday.
yeah, it starts at 7, right?
Yeah, Central, yes.
Yeah.
Good old playoff baseball.
No, it's 7 Eastern, 6 Central.
Okay. I'm Eastern.
Yeah, so an hour earlier than normal.
Yeah, for everyone.
Well, that'll make
Time zones.
going on the air at 9 o'clock will be a little better than going on at 10.
Yes.
So
Yep.
maybe we'll all be fresh and spry at that point. Like the three of us are just going to be like, it's early, and we're.
And I'll be like,
excited."
I'm timeless. Timeless Canada Dry.
Timeless Canada Dry. All right.
Being black and white the entire time then.
Yeah,
I
we
think
need to
there's
do
an,
that.
a thing for that for me to do that.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do that on StreamYard or not. I know that when I stream on OBS, like when I do Twitch streams, I can make my screen completely monochrome,
Yeah.
which I used to do whenever I played like a zombie game. I would make myself completely monochrome so it looked like I was in an old school zombie film. So, yeah, I wish you could do that on StreamYard though. I think that'd be a nice touch. But we've got Renee backstage with Orange Cassidy and Hook. Hook is awkwardly eating Lay's potato chips again. Offers one to Renee. She declined. Probably doesn't want to like get their germs all over her or something. I don't know what the hell this was. This was really weird. And Canada Dry's got a brick wall. Don't bang your head on that brick wall, pal. Okay. Did anybody have any thoughts on this weird kind of pointless segment?
This
I
kind of had me feeling like Orange Cassidy's going to turn heel on Hook.
It kind of insinuated that he was like kind of picking at Hook a little bit. I don't know why.
like it.
No, I got something completely different. I think that he was picking at John Moxley because Hook's like, you should be champion again. He's like, yeah, Moxley's getting a shot. He was champ for 3 weeks. I was champ for 11 months, but yeah, that makes sense. So I think that he's voicing his displeasure about Moxley getting a title shot. I think that's what this whole thing was about.
All right.
Do you guys like my new setup?
You look very
Canada
fancy.
Dry is going to close the evening with a musical number on the piano.
Head on over to the piano back
Oh,
there.
Make It Piano Man by Billy Joel.
And now we cut to Canada Effin' Dry, who will play us out to a piano rendition of "Oh Canada."
Ayaka, by the way, Lay's are potato chips.
Yes, they
Is
are
the branding.
plain Jane potato chips that are just, okay.
Which come in ketchup flavor.
So I hear. I don't think I've ever seen or tried that.
I have seen
Yeah,
them. I've not tried them, but I have seen them.
So I've tried them and I don't like them.
But
But
which
I love
flavor? Which brand?
I don't even remember. But I will take any plain chip and dip it in ketchup, and I love it. It's like a
Yes, it's important that you're using the right brand with the ketchup chip because not every brand is the same with ketchup chips. Lay's does it well.
So
I
guys,
think mine may have been like an Utz.
Us,
Utz, UTZ.
No, UTZ.
yeah, we don't have those in Canada, so it's not legit.
so for all the listeners out there, if you take away anything from this program this evening, remember Canada Dry's tip. You've got to have the right brand potato chips to dip in your ketchup.
No,
Oh,
not
oh,
dip
boy.
in your ketchup. Ketchup brand Lay's chips, not dipping in.
Well, okay. GM Joe.
You can actually get the Lay's ketchup powder,
the ketchup powder.
and you can create your own ketchup chips.
Sorry, we're going on a little bit of a
That's
side quest here. Did you guys ever try that purple ketchup?
Yes.
I
And
couldn't bring
blue,
myself to try it. as a
and
kid.
green.
I
all
never
of
did. Mm-mm.
I couldn't do
Very
it. Like it
popular in
freaked
the
me out. I'm
late
like,
90s.
this isn't ketchup. Get it away.
You're expecting it to taste like grape.
The
What if you
snozzberries taste
accidentally
like
put it on
snozzberries.
if you're trying to make a PB&J sandwich and you accidentally put that on the peanut butter.
Oh.
Yes, you got to make sure you're reading all the labels.
Get
you
Michael
remember that
Smith out
episode of
here for
Seinfeld?
Paranormal. We'll do that.
You remember the episode of Seinfeld where Kramer pours the ketchup or pours the tomato juice into the cereal because his retinas were all messed up? That looked like milk to me.
Oh, is that the one where he's the Kenny Rogers Roasters
Yes.
opens up across the street and he's blinded by the red lights? So the white looked red.
Yes.
Or the red looked white. Oh, yeah. All right. We got match number 4, Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega versus Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita. We got Don Callis on commentary. My notes here. This was a solid back and forth match. Very Japanese style. A lot of forearms, a lot of chops. Very solid back and forth match. I liked it. We can get to the part at the we can circle back to what happens at the end in a moment, but just about the match itself, let's start there. Candida F and Dry, what do you think of the match?
I really enjoyed the match. I really enjoyed Jericho. Did you guys catch the enziguri he did?
Yes.
He did the Owen Hart style enziguri, but it wasn't quite like you got to sell it, have that sold a little bit more. If you're going to do the enziguri, you got to sell it.
Yeah.
Don't just do it and have, oh, I'm okay now. The enziguri is a powerful move that should knock you on your ass.
I always loved the enziguri, and I always think of Owen Hart when somebody does it because he's the first person I remember seeing do it.
Yeah, and like no one does it quite as well like as Owen, because if he's doing it to you, the match is almost over.
Yeah.
And that's why it needs to be treated a little bit more special. Not
You know
just
who
throw it in there.
You know who always had a good enziguri, and I hate that he had it, and because he always did that step-up version, was Alberto Del Rio.
That was a.
I just hate him. I just hate that he has a good move.
Yeah, he's not a very likable guy, but he did have some good work in the ring though. Yeah.
But overall, this match had some good flow, and like I said, I told you so, GM Joe. I told you so.
No, sir. You don't get to do this. It is not the scheduled match that we got.
Uh-oh.
They changed. As soon as Kyle Fletcher was announced, I was like, he's taking the pin.
But I still get to say, I told you so.
No, you don't.
Why
Sammy
not?
Guevara was not in the match.
Can I get maybe moderation in this?
We're taking a timeout here. You gentlemen go back to your corner. The round is over. We've got to get the thoughts of Better Than Your Boyfriend, Ryan Rich, on this match.
Hey.
A little bit of drink here.
This was one of the 2 best matches on the entire show. It really uplifted the show, in my opinion. It was very strong style. I enjoyed it a lot. Anytime you get Omega and Takeshita in a ring together, I think it's cool. And seeing the Golden Jets together, if you saw the media scrum, then you'll understand that as well. Seeing the Golden Jets together was pretty cool as well.
Hey, look, it's Caleb.
Caleb, what's up, man?
Hey!
He thinks New Japan Superstar attacked Jay White.
Ooh.
Which superstar, though?
What if it was Bullet Club?
Possible.
Yeah, we I think on the show last week we discussed that as a possibility.
I mean, what if David Finlay came over all of a sudden?
Bullet Club.
What if, just hear me out here. What if it was the Mormon Church?
I could see it.
Yeah. Like, no one's ever expected to get the devil's mask and everything.
Well, they weren't in Utah. They were in Colorado, so.
Yes, they were close.
They were close.
Yeah, they didn't have to drive far on their little church van.
All right. Where am I at here? Okay, after the match was over, we had
I needed to give my thoughts on the match.
GM Joe, what are your thoughts on the match?
I told you so.
I told you. No. Yeah. Love this match. It was fun, upbeat. Like, it was a fast match. It felt like that very much needed a change of pace from what we had been had for like the last half hour on the show.
Yeah.
So, and of course, I mean, anytime you get to see Kenny Omega be Kenny Omega in the ring is always a good night.
Oh, absolutely. So at the end of this match, we saw Powerhouse. Powerhouse Hobbs comes in the ring and beats the shit out of Jericho and Omega. This guy looks like such a monster. When he comes out of the crowd and he's got a chain around his neck and he's wearing jeans and boots, like he just looks like an ass kicker. Like I'm digging Powerhouse Hobbs. I like him. And I love him being part of this Don Callis family. Because like I said a week ago, they need to take a bunch of heels, put them under Don Callis. He will get them over. And I can't think of a better spot for Powerhouse Hobbs right now, in my opinion. What do you guys think of that? Canada Dry, what do you think of this, this Hobbs move?
You were like, I don't know what's going on with you lately. Like, you're like taking my brain and speaking out what I'm thinking. Like, how are you doing this?
It's a mind meld.
Yeah, it's like, are you part Vulcan? Are you part Vulcan? Because if you're part Vulcan, you have to tell me. He is part Vulcan.
I am.
Yes. Like, Powerhouse Hobbs was directionless. Book of Hobbs, dumb. Just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Get rid of the Book of Hobbs. Come into the Don Callis family and just do what Don tells you to do, pretty much. Be Don's muscle.
Yes.
And just be that dominant. Like, I want this to be like an old school Bobby Heenan family.
Yes. That would be terrific. Yes.
Like, absolutely love him in this and just kicking the crap out of everyone. And I love that they're like, well, the elite are at the hospital. Why?
Well, it makes sense. Why no one's coming out to save them?
But also, there was one line I forgot in the match. So, Jericho does his shoulder and then knocks over a much bigger Takeshita. And they're like, well, see, the reason why that worked is because Jericho's distributing his body weight in a certain way. Like, don't even say anything. You're ruining it.
I forgot to mention this, but I do think it was quite amusing that they were having so much trouble duct taping one arm of Kenny Omega to the
And Kenny's like at the end, still can't get it on.
GM Joe, what do you think of Hobbs aligning with the Callis family?
I think it'll be good, but like so far, everyone in the house, in the Don Callis family, has a reason. So I need a good reason for Hobbs to be there.
Caleb's going crazy here now. He wants Orange Cassidy to turn heel. I think you're saying stuff just to say it, Caleb.
I will admit, the only thing I did not like about this, like, it's 2023. We shouldn't be doing unprotected hit chair shots to the head. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Look at this. She's trying to start trouble now.
I don't think Mr. Isaacs can pick.
No, we
No. See, the thing is here. All the shows are on the channel are all part of when we love them.
No, it's DAD because I'm on it. Damn it, constantly.
You're also on the garage.
I'm a permanent co-host on Magic of Wrestling, so like I gotta put my eggs in that basket just on by default. But look, we're all team effing wrestling here. Okay,
yes.
Like every show is equal to every show, so that's it. We're effing wrestling YouTube channel. That's what we're like. So, and with that, better than your boyfriend Ryan Rich. What'd you think of the Hobbs tone?
That should be your gimmick. Better than your boyfriend Ryan Rich.
Did you just catch that?
Yes, I
wow, late to the show. I did that.
It's late.
I guess you don't have your cup of coffee. I guess
it's late, gentlemen. It is.
I thought this was masterful because anything with Hobbs is better than QTV.
Yes.
Anything.
Right.
And Takeshita is going to be the lead. Guevara is going to be the high flyer. Hobbs is going to be the muscle. I think now we got to get a technician into the family. And you see that there's blurred faces all over that last upper of people he still needs to color in. So I'm
you know who the technician could be?
Danny Garcia?
Yeah. That's what you're thinking? Mind meld.
And you know what? That could very well be because at the media scrum,
Daniel Garcia.
Chris Jericho said we have some big plans for Daniel Garcia coming up.
Yep.
And I hope that stupid dance isn't part of it.
Oh, that's amazing. He got that over so hard. That's amazing.
You're going to piss Dallas off now, Canada. Stop it.
Yes.
Did you see the clip where Daniel Garcia brought out TK like in between a taping of?
It was after. Yeah.
It was the way I was in Indy. Garcia got TK to do the dance.
Yeah.
And
weird.
You think it's weird when Garcia does it?
Oh, it was real weird when TK did it.
Yeah, when you see Tony Khan doing something.
Okay, you got to get me a video of TK doing it so we can put it up somewhere.
It was out there. Yeah, it was on X, I think is where I saw it.
I saw it on Facebook somewhere.
So we saw Renee backstage with MJF. I don't like this at all. I don't like how they do these little inside joke things of stuff that happens on Twitter or whatever. But apparently Max Caster starts giving him a massage, and MJF threatens a restraining order on him. I mean, the television audience that doesn't follow that is like, what the hell's going on? It's a baby face and a baby face. Why are they? I don't know.
They explained it with the messages on Twitter and whatnot.
Yeah.
Renee was like, those are some pretty bad messages.
They're hilarious is what they are, and I live for it.
I have no idea what this even is.
Oh no, like anytime MJF posts anything like working out, Caster always retweets it and makes it something about him and them being together almost, or like calling him daddy or this or that. And it's just so funny. And so for them to to me, it was like an Easter egg just put in there. Like, most people aren't going to get it, but if you do if you know, you know. And that's what was. I don't think that you had to know. I think that was something for people who do know.
Right. Well, after that little part, he calls Adam Cole and gets his voicemail. Drama. Got a voicemail.
Dum, dum, dum.
GM Joe, what'd you think of all this?
I mean, it was fine. I don't know why he expected Adam Cole to answer at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night when he has a broken ankle. He's probably sleeping. I mean, I don't know. It was fine. Like, my favorite thing was like it rang one time and you see MJF get agitated that Adam didn't pick up the phone right away. It's like ring. He's like,
it's the little things. Yes. Canada F and dry. Do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, they could have done without the phone gimmick because they're gonna play into. I phoned you, and I watched Dynamite, and you're having fun with them. What the hell? They're totally gonna mention this.
Oh, of course.
Yep. Ryan Rich, the missed phone call part of this segment. What did you think?
If they do reference it, it's going to be weird because it was obviously daylight when he was over there and it was nighttime when he called. So, like, he could still be asleep after that. Or they could have slipped him a Mickey. Who knows?
Wouldn't put it past Roddy in the Kingdom to have done that.
They're obviously just trying to move this forward with this will they, won't they split thing. And I think they're just trying to push the story forward. So I saw it for what it was. I don't think it was consequential to anything.
All right. The match was awesome, but they add Powerhouse Hoobs versus Chris Jericho next week on Tuesday.
Powerhouse Hoobs.
Powerhouse Hoobs. All right. We have match number 5, Sky Blue versus Timeless Tony Storm.
You know what I just want to mention?
Yeah.
That Sky Blue isn't smiling at all.
I mentioned this last week. Ever since she's been misted in the eyes, she's like.
And let me just say that without a smile on Sky Blue, she's not as cute. It's amazing what a smile does for someone.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
It's a first impression. Yeah.
She also doesn't seem like she's like it feels like she's changing her appearance. Like her hair wasn't done cute like it normally is.
A lot more mascara.
Which I think is trying to play up the mist, trying to like blacken her eyes.
So you guys think this is headed towards her joining House of Black?
I don't think it's House of Black. It's a heel turn.
Just a heel turn in general.
And honestly, Sky Blue, she needs to be heel to be relevant.
I don't know. I don't think I could buy her.
I don't think that at all.
Buy her as
many heels.
Every single wrestler that gets over has a nice heel run. And because it brings out your character. You can do way more.
Yeah.
Making Sky Blue heel is going to do way more for her career.
I mean, what if The Rock had stayed Rocky Maivia and been a shitty baby face?
Right?
He would have been fired.
He would have been
about to be fired.
He would not be the biggest star in the world if he had stayed babyface Rocky Maivia in WWE. So, I mean, that's a good point. A lot of people really build their character once they turn heel. That's a very common occurrence in pro wrestling history. But anyways, my notes on this match, Tony comes out with the messed up lipstick, acting crazy. This was a decent little back and forth match. I mean, I don't really have too much to say about it other than that. I'll get your guys' thoughts on the actual match itself. And I'll start with Mr. Rich.
The match was good. I don't think it was anything special, but it got to shine a light on Timeless Tony Storm and kind of showed a little bit more of the direction of Sky Blue and where they're taking her. So for storyline purposes, I thought it was a good match to have on there. And they wrestled a good clean match. It was good.
All right. GM Joe?
It was a fine match, but this match in particular shows me like how AEW would benefit from house shows to allow both of these ladies more ring time to really hone their character.
Yeah.
Especially Sky Blue, because she's going from this bubbly, happy personality to sort of like a more of a dark thing, and getting to walk down the ramp and do one match every week, if that, you're never going to be able to perfect that character. So,
yeah.
Well, to build on top of that too, if you have a house show circuit, then you can have some of these same matches over and over again, whereas these people get more comfortable with each other and it looks better on TV.
Well, they were starting to do that until Collision came along.
Yep.
They put the kibosh on that then. Because that kind of booked their Saturday evenings. Canada F and Dry, what do you think of the match?
I really enjoyed this back and forth. Sky Blue looked good. Have a little bit more fire in her belly kind of thing. And I think that I had the the part of the ass grab. Tony Storm is grabbing her ass. Oh my goodness!
Oh, I missed that.
Yes, there's a big ass grab. She's holding her like this, and then they're just before commercial. She goes, and now a word from our sponsors. And then she grabs just before they went to picture. She goes, and now I'm going to do a titty slap.
Yeah, I thought I heard her say something about titties, and I was like,
yeah,
did I hear that right?
She said that she was like titty, and then it cut to the commercial.
Titty, and then all of a sudden the commercial comes on. I was like, what? Hold on.
Well, I heard the slap part on it.
Like, I didn't hear slap. I just heard titty. That popped in my head. You know, that's one of those buzzwords that you hear it, and it's like, wait a second.
Like a dog.
Did I hear that right? This is after dark, so I mean it's fitting. All right, moving on. Tony Storm, of course, gets the win. Solid match, but we see Stokely Hathaway. This is so funny. Stokely Hathaway's backstage with Renee and announces exactly what Excalibur literally just said. I just thought that, like, I don't know if like Excalibur was supposed to say this after this promo ran. It just seemed like the timing of this was really off, but they announced a Ring of Honor contender match. He says that the Ring of Honor needs a champion that doesn't smell like Burger King and Newports. I thought that was pretty funny.
I wish they would have announced.
Renee is trying hard not to laugh.
Right. Canada Dry, what did you think of this little Stokely Hathaway segment here?
Every time you get Stokely Hathaway with the stick, he's hilarious.
He is. It's funny.
They need him on TV more.
Yeah. Well, they're using him in Ring of Honor, so which is cool. I mean, I gotta have people there too. But yeah, I miss seeing him on AEW television because I always thought he was great. GM Joe, what'd you think of this?
I wish they would have told us who was in the match. That's all I would have asked for.
They
Like,
did.
don't know.
Excalibur mentioned.
Oh, I didn't hear it. What did it? I don't know who it is then, because I didn't hear Excalibur announce it. I was busy. I came in to hear.
It was weird because Excalibur literally showed the graphic and said who was going to be in the match, and then it cut to Stokely Hathaway making the announcement that the match was going to happen. Like,
So who were the
Yeah, it
four
was like
people?
it should have been the other way around.
it was John
Commander.
Morrison, who's apparently called Johnny TV now, and I honestly don't remember. who the
Commander,
others were.
Penta.
Oh yeah, Commander and
It's Penta and someone else.
the former Lince Dorado. What's he just called? El Dorado now or something like that?
So all the AAA guys are just being thrown in an ROH match.
And
Yeah.
Morrison.
Morrison is a AAA guy too.
He's a AAA guy too, yeah. So it's basically just going to be a AAA match to see what AAA wrestler is going to wrestle for the
I
Ring
think
of Honor
Johnny
title on
TV is
AEW
gonna-
TV show.
It's going to get the match.
So that's not confusing at all, right? A bunch of AAA talents wrestling to see who will face the Ring of Honor champion on an AEW TV show.
Yeah.
Just we're all clear.
Yeah,
It's almost-
I predict Johnny TV wins. QTV's going to get involved and all that shit, and somehow he's going to win.
He's
It's
got to
almost
be
as-
the one. Yeah.
It's almost as bad as a WWE guy being a WCW guy for the ECW title on an
Oh
ECW
yeah, that's why they
show.
were going through all the WCW belts.
Like when Taz beat Mike Awesome.
That's exactly what I'm
Talking about,
referencing.
yeah. For those of you who don't know what GM Joe's talking about, Mike, this is a little side quest here, but Mike Awesome won the ECW heavyweight title, then defected to WCW, took the ECW championship unauthorized on Nitro. They finally threw enough money at him to convince him to come back, and they brought in Taz, who was in WWE, to beat him and become the ECW champion, who then took the ECW belt onto SmackDown. So it was a very, very weird sequence of events here, but I digress.
Is this when he became the Canadian killer, Mike Awesome?
Or the fat chick thriller.
Yeah,
70s
Japanese
guy,
guy.
This
That's
is when he
epic.
joined WCW and he started going through all those gimmicks. Yeah.
which boggles my mind that they couldn't figure out something for Mike Awesome. Such a great wrestler.
Mike Awesome was a great wrestler. His
Well,
matches,
you just needed to keep him as Mike Awesome.
yeah,
that's
his
all they had to
matches with Masato Tanaka and ECW are some of my favorite matches of all time. Loved it. But
You
anyway,
just get
moving on here,
the-
we are at the main event segment. Good old Schiavone is in the ring and introduces the rated R superstar, Adam Copeland. Thank God he still has Metalingus, because I love that song and it just fits him. And it just pops me to see him coming out to that still, even though he's not in WWE anymore. Copeland comes out, does his usual introductory spiel of I get to wrestle all the guys I've never wrestled before and yada, yada, yada. Says the reason why he has returned is because he doesn't like what his good pal Christian Cage has been doing. Calls out Christian Cage. Christian Cage comes out. They Adam talks to him a little bit and they go in for a hug, and Christian Cage tells him to F himself. Which was great. I love that. What'd you guys think of the actual main event segment here? Not a match this week. The main event is a segment. I will start with Lord Rich. What do you think?
It was really cool to see Adam Copeland on AEW TV, and to see him in a ring with Christian is very, very cool. I thought the interaction was all really cool. I thought for a main event, it was a letdown.
Yeah. GM Joe, what'd you think?
I can't get over the image of Christian with a surfer hair and a rat tail. But I love this. Like, I really enjoy when wrestlers who are legit friends bring real life experiences into wrestling. It makes it feel that much more real. I thought this was done perfectly, to sit there and have them hug. It was literally just a rip off of what the Bloodline did. And but it always works. Like, because once we finally get Edge and Christian proper, the roof is going to blow off that place.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for it. And I love the fact that we basically have Edge in everything but name. We have the nickname, we have the entrance, the mannerisms. So I don't know if you know why he still has Metalingus, but he is basically best friends with the lead singer. And the lead singer...
Well, not Miles Kennedy, Mark Tremonti, the guitarist.
Oh, the guitarist. They said, that's your song. They've never licensed it to WWE. They won't license it to AEW. It's literally for Adam Copeland only.
So AEW isn't even getting charged for it.
I don't think so. I think
I would be willing to bet that they have to pay the record label to use the recording. That would be my assumption.
I'm sure there's probably somebody. It's probably not as expensive as it. It's not Europe money.
It's not going on and getting Final Countdown.
Yeah.
But it's a great song, though. I love this
absolutely.
song.
I love
Independent of wrestling, I love that song.
Ultra Bridge is a good band altogether.
Yeah.
And Mark Tremonti is one of my favorite guitar players of all time.
And for those of you who don't know, Alter Bridge is Creed with a different singer.
Yep.
And they sound totally different.
It is crazy how different they are.
Miles Kennedy is like...
I hear a lot of the same riffs, but I mean, it's good.
Yeah, but that lead singer Creed that's critical.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Creed.
Where are we at? We're at Canada Dry here, I believe. What did you think of the closing segment here?
The closing segment, I really enjoyed the fans' reaction to Adam Copeland. I really enjoyed the begging, almost begging, like, please, we need to get this tag team together, and then the hug and the rejection, just like, and Adam Copeland played it perfectly, like just, I can't believe it. My best friend did this to me, and it's perfect because you know that they're going to be laughing about this later.
Oh yeah,
we got him good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the ride that we're going to get, because this eventually leads to Edge and Christian tag teaming again, but not for a while.
I can see it right now for Wembley next year, All In 2024. Edge and Christian versus the Hardys, table, ladders, and chairs match.
I don't think so. I don't think Jeff Hardy is going to be allowed to enter the UK.
Oh, that's true.
Dang, okay, maybe All Out then.
Yeah. Well, because I was thinking, I was like, you know what I really want is I want Edge and Christian versus the Hardys versus FTR versus the Young Bucks.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, that would be phenomenal. Yeah.
And I don't even care who wins. Just let me see the match.
The Bucks would win, obviously, but yeah.
I don't know. I think Edge and Christian probably win.
You think they'd put Edge and Christian over there?
I think they would.
Possibly. For nostalgia reasons, they might, yeah.
Now, this brings us to our bells and all that kind of stuff. But before we do, if you ever wanted to train to become a professional wrestler, you can go down to Largo, Florida, and train with two of the best, Natalia Markova and Brian Idol. They run a wrestling school, $250 a month. But I can blab on about it, but why don't I just show you?
Determination, perseverance. These are the qualities that make a champion. Do you have what it takes to be the next wrestling superstar? Are you ready to turn your dreams into a reality? At Fight the World Wrestling's World Wrestling Academy, we can help you become the champion you were meant to be. Our world travel trainers, Brian Idol and Natalia Markova, are well-known industry professionals with years of experience in the world of wrestling. From the basics to advanced techniques, they are dedicated to help give you the tools that you need to succeed in the ring. Our training program is tailored to challenge you, push you to your limits, and help you discover your full potential. Come join our diverse group of talent. Join us at Fight the World Wrestling's World Wrestling Academy and make your dream a reality. Visit our website or contact us to learn more and start your journey to the top today.
And that is Fight the World Wrestling Academy, $250 a month. Guys, do it. Learn to be a professional wrestler from the best.
I always love those punches that Natalia Markova was taking for Brian on that ball. They look so legit.
Yeah.
Based on that video, y'all better be in some great cardio shape heading into that school.
Yep. This isn't going to be your dumpster wrestling class, pal. You're not just going to go in there with your belly hanging down to your shoes and like swing garbage cans at each other. You're going to learn how to actually wrestle. So,
yeah, you got a lot of these wrestling schools are getting a lot of these attention now. You got the Monster Wrestling Academy on Apple TV. You got OVW on Netflix, The Wrestler. So it's like it's the kind of the veil's being torn back now, and people can be like, oh, okay, this is what it's going to take to become a professional wrestler.
yeah, absolutely. And Canada Dry, did we want to plug any T-shirts or anything before we move to the final segment? Or we?
Well, we'll add that after.
Okay.
Better Than Your Boyfriend coming soon.
If it's your gimmick, we'll make you a shirt, man. It's got to be your gimmick, though.
All right, gentlemen, you guys know what this part of the night entails. It is going to be your match of the night, your segment of the night, and your overall bell rating for this October 4th, 2023 edition, a 4-year anniversary edition of AEW Dynamite. I will start with Canada F and Dry.
My match of the night is going to be the Golden Jets versus Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. I enjoyed this match, and I enjoyed the beatdown afterwards. So my segment of the night, giving it to Adam Copeland. And I'm going to give this show a 4.
Okay. Ryan Rich, Better Than Your Boyfriend.
My favorite match is also the Golden Jets versus Don Callis family. I think my segment tonight is actually the first one with Omega and Jericho with Copeland popping in. I thought that was just really funny. It felt very TK-ish to me. As far as my ratings, I'm a little lower because I expected a lot more from this show, being a 4-year anniversary. So for me, it didn't hit, and I'm giving it 3 bells tonight.
Okay. GM Joe.
Okay, so my match of the night is the opener, Fenix and Matt Jackson, or is it Nick? I can never. Nick Jackson. My segment of the night is the main event one between Adam Copeland and Christian. It got me so excited for where their story's going, and just for the huge payoff of the pop of the hug later on down the line. And we'll pull the curtain back because I told Canada Dry and Mr. Isaacs that I was not really happy with this show before we came on the air, but like talking about it sort of warmed up to it. So
got you all nice and cozy, didn't we?
A little bit, yeah.
So a little bear hug and got you warm, yeah.
Because I sort of feel the same as Mr. Ryan Rich here. Like, this is the 4-year anniversary. I expected something more.
New era.
I think you guys are also like coming off a pay-per-view. It's hard to go back to the normal.
I understand it. And I think that's part of the problem too, is like you just had a really good pay-per-view and it doesn't feel like they capitalized on it.
Yeah, Wrestle Dream was great.
But that said,
I didn't think Wrestle Dream was going to be as good as it was.
It had no right being as good as it was.
But I'm glad it was for Inoki, and the fact of paying homage to him, that made me very happy that it turned out as well as it did.
So, like I said, talking about it for this last hour and a half or so-ish has definitely warmed me up. So I'm giving this a 3.5. Because, like I said, like I think like if they had addressed the Masked Man and maybe did another like match or two, something just more celebration wise, like some dream match.
I still don't remember any of that trios match. Nothing.
They almost could have had the Golden Jets be the main event since they main evented the first Dynamite.
Yeah, they could have did that too.
That would have made more sense storyline wise to me.
But then I don't think they wanted to end the 4-year with the beatdown that was there. I don't think they wanted to end a show like that.
Yeah.
I can understand.
Okay.
But yeah, 3.5 from me.
3.5 for GM Joe. For me, my match of the night was also Nick Jackson versus Rey Fenix. I was a big fan of that match. Liked it a lot, like we discussed earlier. Segment of the night, yeah, I'm going to go with Adam Copeland and Christian Cage at the end of the show. I thought that was great. My bell rating here, I thought it was a good show. I didn't think it was great. I would have liked to have seen a little more from it. I'm going to give it 3. Well, yeah, I'm going to give it a flat 3 bells. That's my rating for it. And what does that make our average score, GM Joe?
Our average is 3.375.
Okay. 3.375. So that's kind of a bit of a middle of the road kind of average.
It's a solid show.
Solid show.
Not a great show, but solid.
I'll tell you what. Next Tuesday, I don't think that will be our average because it looks like they're putting on a stacked show next week.
I think next Tuesday is going to be significantly better than tonight's show. I really
I
do.
don't know if this guy's actually be leading Tuesday's show or if it'll be JFB. You never know with this guy lately.
I think JFB didn't. He hasn't been told the strike ended. So like
he's got a lot of projects that he's still got to do.
I was going to say he's still picketing outside the effing wrestling studio. He's demanding.
Well, only one of the 2 strikes have ended. So,
well, that's true. He's demanding premium coffee, which is not really in our budget. So we've got the great value coffee, and that's just what we're going to have to have.
Well, I'm willing to upgrade to Folgers.
To Folgers? Okay.
You know, we should upgrade from
middle ground.
No, we can just upgrade from great value to like Sam's Club or BJ's,
There we go.
Upgrade a little bit.
MGB.
Everybody loves some BJ's.
Hey-o. Yes, MGB coffee.
Canada Dry, do you want to close us out for the evening here with some T-shirts and the closing statement?
Of course. As always, you can get the All Effin' Wrestling Show shirt worn by the lovely Natalia Markova, who is trying to win the women's tag team titles at this pay-per-view. Hopefully, she'll eventually have some gold around her waist now.
Hopefully so.
Like she comes out to Billy Corgan's music, but they won't give her any gold. What the hell?
Yeah, really.
Of course, you can get this shirt that I'm wearing, the Sharpshooter Action T-shirt. And we also, if you like old school wrestling, and we know you do, you can get the adorable Adrian Adonis T-shirt. You can go to Pro Wrestling Tees /Adrian Adonis. And of course, for other shirts, you can go to ProWrestlingTees.com/effin wrestling. And with that being said, thank you to the effin expert, Mr. Isaacs, to GM Joe, myself, and better than your boyfriend, Ryan Rich, who is going to do the speech that ends the show.
Everyone out there has problems. They got worries. But just remember that we're all here for you. And every day you got to remember to just keep fighting.
This has been an effin' worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effin wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at ProWrestlingTees.com/effin wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effinwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.